Hello and welcome back to the Talos principle. So, as I said I was gonna do, but kind of skipped out on, because we got to a new world, I am going to go through the levels and check out what the terminals say. Get some lore, get some philosophy sometimes, get some just some general story, because we have been doing puzzles for a while and not focusing on the story and what the hell is even going on. So I want to do that. So, according to this menu, I don't have from 3 onward, it seems. And I also seem to be land A elevator here, it says. I think that's the Overworld, which was what crashed my game last time when I was trying to go to one of those. Kind of weird. But we're gonna go through the levels. So this is all I'm gonna do today. I'm probably gonna title this video differently, so you know, it's just this. But now you also know because I told you. So yeah, if you don't want to see this and you just want to see the puzzles, I'm gonna continue with that in the next video. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna do today. It may be a long video. I don't know how long this will take. I didn't set a timer because I want to do everything today. So if it takes a while, that's what will happen. Anyway, let's go to level 3, which is this one. I also don't have the stars, but that's still something I'm not sure if I want to do yet.
I see all. I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
I do not remember if he said that last time or not. This thing isn't saying anything. That's kind of weird. But anyway, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for this. So, am I obliged to answer that question? Let's say that. I only asked because I couldn't help but notice the stash of brightly colored knickknacks you're collecting. Don't you think it's a mite odd that that big voice in the sky keeps telling you to find those doodads, yet forbidding you to use them to climb the great big tower in the middle of it all? Well, I'm gonna collect all of them before I do it, so yeah, I guess that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I'll say that. That makes more sense, I think. Okay, no need to get huffy. You'll be amazed how many just do as they're told without stopping to think for themselves. But maybe you're different. Then again, maybe you're exactly the same. Maybe everyone climbs the tower and the only way to win is to stay down here with the mortals. Are you trying to manipulate me? Do you really think so? Nope. In fact, I'm all in favor of you poking about up there, if only to see what you find. Must be something juicy if it's forbidden by the Highness. Then again, maybe not. I'll be off then. Just wanted to drop in and run a little interference. Whatever you do, take care. You have bigger problems than the voice in the clouds. Not very helpful. You don't like to say his name, do you? I will. Well, apparently whoever that is gone now. I don't know if that would happen if I came here another time, or if this happened because I finished the thing, maybe. Hard to really know how this game works, but anyway, that was interesting. AI feedback.eml. I don't know what EML really means. What kind of what do you call that, extension that is. That's the .wiki, interestingly enough. Even though I don't think that's an actual extension. I don't know. Maybe it is. Anyway, we're gonna continue. We will keep discussing what an artificial intelligence would mean to us and how it would change our understanding of the world. That's a great topic, and I think we've covered it extensively. What we've barely mentioned, though, is the other side of the coin. I mean, our life would still be what they were before, AI or no AI. The question I think we should discuss, even if it's all completely hypothetical, is the perspective of the artificial intelligence itself. What would it be like to be that creature? To suddenly come into being, created by others as an experiment? To have all the information about yourself, to know exactly how you function? Indeed, this is interesting. What would you think about the world? Would you see meaning, beauty? How would you judge humanity? Where would you see yourself fitting into the grand scheme of things? I think we should try to put ourselves into the shoes of such a being. Dear Alexandra, thank you for your feedback, but this is a philosophy course, not science fiction, and that's why I gave up on my studies. Sad face. Huh. So yeah, that's interesting because, well, I do feel like in the real world, philosophy would ask these questions, especially nowadays where, you know, AI and computers are such a huge thing and going to be a huge thing, and asking these kind of questions is important and, you know, relevant to philosophy in general, I feel. But yeah, that's interesting. Whoever that is, yeah. Team leads. We're blessed to have so many people contributing to this project, but we've got to make sure everyone is on the same page. Please refer to the following people when numbers. And then there's a lot of people here. That's Alexandria again. Let's see if there's any other names that have come up that I remember from other places. Don't really think so. There is some interesting things in here. Some are like redacted or glitchy or something. Don't know what that's all about. Though not directly part of our project, the archive team is sharing both physical and digital space with us. If there are any technical issues to resolve, please contact the project lead, Akeda. That name. Don't worry, he's nice. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. So there's a bunch of numbers. I wonder if those mean anything. Kind of look like a well, not binary, but a hex code. I think it's called something like that. Hexadecimal numbers, something like that. I don't know, but maybe it's not at all. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for that. Don't know how to pronounce that. Straton of Stateria. I don't know. Was a Greek materialist philosopher associated with the peripatetic school, something. I don't know. It's hard to pronounce words when you have no clue what they even mean, and you are not even a native speaker of English. In case you didn't know that, I'm from Denmark. So yeah, that's why my accent and my voice is kind of, you know, unusual. So yeah. Anyway, an admirer. Let me try that again. An admirer of Aristotle, he was a proponent of empiricism and a fierce critic of philosophy that placed belief before observable truths. The one popular with many of his peers for his often acerbic, I don't know, personal manner. His commentaries on Aristotle were considered an Important work. Much of his writing was lost in the destruction of the Library of Alexandria. Aha. And okay, yeah, that's all I was worried I had to go to other places to find stuff, but I think if there's only these things here, and I got all the, I'm missing a time capsule it seems, at least one. There may be 2 more if there's one in each level. I don't know how that works, but personally I'm not gonna go look for those. That will take a lot of time, and it doesn't seem as interesting as this. It's just people talking about things that I don't even know if are relevant. Like, anyway, that's it for that one it seems. So let's go to number 4. This is an unusual kind of episode, I feel, but hey, that's what you're here for, apparently. Loading builds online, blah blah blah. Stuff. Hello again. Would you like to take a few moments to complete a short user satisfaction survey regarding this certification program you recently undertook? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Based on analysis of your behavior since, I think you're dissatisfied with the results of the certification program. How do you rate the accuracy of its results out of 5? Spoil the survey? Oh, what's going on? Yeah, no. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, but not posting it. Okay. I wasn't really sure what that meant. What best describes the reason for your investment in the certification program's outcome? Why does being a person matter to you? Let's see where this goes. Yes, do keep up, or this will be a terribly slow progress. Now, would you like to participate properly in the survey? Yes. I'm sorry. Well, let's. Well, this is. I guess I'm typing as the robot guy I'm playing too. I mean, I don't really know. I guess I wanna ask this. I don't know. This is weird. Okay. No, I don't know where I am. A virtual reality theme park? A fever dream? The end of the world? Hell? Some mad experiment. That would be my guess. What do I know? Well, I know I'm not on Earth. Well, I don't know that. I mean, it seems unlikely that I'm on Earth due to the weirdness of it all, but I don't know. I don't know that either. Well, I don't know that either because I'm also a robot guy. I know that is true, but that's just because that's what we're told, isn't it? And I don't know if you exist in a robot or a computer program, and I don't know what sensory it is. So really, none of these answers are very good. I guess I'll say what is the thing I can answer the most, which is this, since that makes the most sense. I guess I'll read this. I didn't read the other ones. I think I should keep reading all of this. I don't know. I suppose so. Even if you were dreaming, you could be certain of that. If I were you, I wouldn't believe a darn thing in this place aside from the solidarity fact. Thinking. On reflect, it seems to me that we are no closer to resolving your problem. Perhaps we need more data. What makes you think you're a person? Well, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I don't see how I can convince you. A sensible response I've given you, thinking. The problem with people, if I may be so bold, is that you're all convinced you're people from the inside, but this is going faster than I thought, and I was kind of getting confused about reading yeah. Anyway, where did I come from? Let me try again. The problem with people, if I may be so bold, is that you're all convinced you're people from the inside, but there's no cast iron way to confirm as much from the outside. I'm going to process this and send you a notification when I'm able to assist you further. Terminating support session done. Resuming library archive session done. List. Search for locally cast resources. Okay, I'm not gonna read that every time, but just want to do that there. Anyway, let's open this thing. From Nadia Sarapai. So Ian mailing list. Subject progress report 1. Hi all, everything being moved to the EL facility or L facility, I don't know. I know it's been sad to leave the good old Jeff building behind, but it makes sense for us to be on site, especially as there may be severe power outages in the coming weeks. Arcady's team are already working stuff, but you really don't need to worry about the teams getting in each other's way. The facility is genuinely humongous. Let's get the show on the road. Not yet. Okay. Mail out that. From Arcadia to a lot of people. I'll keep this short. You all know me, so you know that I know what I'm talking about. I realize that you're all working on projects meant to somehow avert something. Find a solution. I believe that something, preserve the non-biological components of something. Not in terms of something immediately. You'll find the details of my proposal in the attachment, but the short version is global undertaking. Sounds like the working on some sort of way to preserve something, some kind of apocalyptic thing, as I'm pretty sure we could have guessed by now anyway. Straton or Stratalan of Stakiri, I don't know how to say that. On beginnings fragment in the it is the grave error of many philosophers, not only of the Athenian schools but also of many others, that they begin not with observation of the cosmos as it surrounds us, but with a conclusion already in mind. And often that conclusion is that the world was created ideal and mankind itself the greatest creation of the gods. Yet neither the world nor the gods owe mankind perfection. It is arrogance itself to presume so, and contrary to all the methods of philosophy. The honest philosopher seeks only the truth, even if it bears no comfort, and he must begin by assuming, as Socrates said, that all he knows is that he knows nothing. Ha! I don't really know what that means, to be quite honest. But that seems to be it for this place. So let's continue. Weird stuff, broken up stuff, random philosophy. Well, not random, it's some kind of point, but some kind of point about mostly seeing what is real, what isn't real, and yeah, that kind of stuff. Which makes sense since we're a robot, who an AI. Hello again. I've been checking your responses against library archives, and in order to assist you further, I need some additional information. Can you tell me what it is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? A tree is heavier. A pebble is older. A tree is alive. The important difference between a pebble and a tree. Well, I guess I would say this. I mean, a pebble is, you know, from what I get, a collection of like materials throughout the millions of years. So that could technically be alive in some sense, because it contains all that. But I think generally we would say a tree is alive and a pebble isn't. So that is more important to me, I guess. I don't know. Good. Now, what is the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? A frog is conscious, a frog is green, a frog is delicious. Kind of want to say that, but I think I want to answer these honestly as I can. So I would answer this. A frog is conscious. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's try something harder. What's the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? I have feelings, I am rational, I am self-aware. Nothing important. Frogs are people too. Well, no, I don't think that I would say that. Which is probably why I am not, you know, a vegetarian or vegan or anything like that. Because I feel like there's a pretty important difference between people and animals, as we call them, even though we are also animals. The reason why I believe that is because animals can be self-aware. We have, you know, we studied that with apes, certain kinds of apes. I think gorilla, maybe, I don't remember, or something like that, are able to understand that, you know, they exist and that they are self-aware in some kind of way, that they can notice themselves, they can understand. So, but are they rational? I mean, you could argue that they have rational thoughts, that they know that certain things are bad, certain things are good, you should do certain things, you shouldn't do certain things, but is that instinct rather than rationality? And feelings, I mean, again, that's kind of the same. I would say rational, probably. Exactly. Taking user.prof done. And if and it seems you were on the right track more or less all along. Let us take stock. I think we can tentatively conclude two things. One, a person must be rational or self-aware. 2, a person must be conscious. What I suggest we do to help resolve the problem is ask whether you are in fact those things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? Again, I feel like I'm answering as the robot guy, but to myself, I would say that, so yeah. Of course. I tend to agree with you, though your response so far has been a little eccentric. I am resigned to admit that you are right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather more elusive. What is consciousness in your opinion? Well, that I guess I would say that is true, but I don't think that's what it means. I think it means that it doesn't. The one I'm answering as doesn't consider itself self-conscious, rather than doesn't understand. That can't explain consciousness, because that's not something most people can do, but they clearly are conscious in some way. And it's kind of a weird separation. Anyways, What would I answer here? Is the feeling and senses. I mean, I guess so. Consciousness is what separates us from animals. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I answered before. I guess I'll just say this. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That hardly answers the question. What is it in ordinary terms? Can you touch it? What is it made of? It is made of neurons. It is another word for the soul. It is beyond the laws of physics. Consciousness is a complex functional system. Well, see, I don't believe the concept of a soul. And I am not religious either. I will say that again. I guess I should explain my points of view when I answer these questions. And as I said, with me not being vegan, I'm also not religious. So I would not say that at all. But I don't want to say it's beyond the laws of physics either, though it is a complicated thing. I cannot say that for sure because I don't know how it actually works. But this makes more sense. Interesting thinking. You know, I really feel like we're making progress. We will have you come through that certification program in no time. In the meanwhile, I will mull over your proposal and notify you if I come to any conclusions. Terminating support session done. Okay, that's the end of that. Those are interesting. These documents are mixed bag, though. I will say that. Anyway, EL short for extended lifespan. Okay. Yeah, that's also kind of what I'm thinking. That actually consciousness in this robot thing. Maybe I was kind of leaning towards like sort of like that with the end of the world thing. Like this is some kind of test to see if you are conscious, if you can make decisions. You know, solve puzzles, think logically, think, you know, that kind of thing. But I think that's pretty much confirmed with a name like that. Anyway, Extended Lifespan is a groundbreaking initiative by 7 leading universities to create the world's most stable and most durable supercomputer. With its custom-made hardware, bomb-proof casing, and near-inexhaustible hydroelectric power supply, EL represents a unique step forward in the evolution of human technology. The brainchild of Nobel Prize nominee Dr. Arkady that EL will and links, download, basket, meet the team, apply, contact. Well, that's an HTML thing now. I noticed that by the code thingies. I've dabbled a little bit in that, but I'm not much of a coder or programmer myself. Anyway, reconsider issue 199, profile Alexandra Drennan. Once a true artificial intelligence has been created, the issue of citizenship is going to come up. If we acknowledge that the AI has all the abilities of a human brain, should it not be considered a citizen? It is not, in the legal sense of the word, a person and thus a potential citizen. This sounds a lot like Detroit Become Human kind of philosophy around this, which deals more with the, you know, the what not as much as what makes a person as how they integrate into society, which is also an interesting question. Anyway, but where do you draw the line? Some people will object. Will the great apes become citizens? Elephants, whales, the more intelligent parrot species? Okay. It's crazy, they will say. I would remind these people that we live in a society in which a corporation of abstract corporation as abstract an entity as one could imagine is considered a person. So it's not like there is no precedent for a non-human being a person. I can't read today, it seems. At least an artificial intelligence is an actual thinking being, not just a business arrangement. But perhaps we do need to question the definition of personhood. Increasing amounts of evidence regarding the intelligence of elephants or the existence of culture among whales, for example, could be a sign that we need to answer some difficult questions. Who better to debate these questions with than the young genius who revolutionized something? And Athena 8, the text. You must consider these riddles. The Sphinx. Don't know how to say that actually. Sphinx is the kind of weird word. Anyway, said, and tell me the riddle that I did not reveal. The Sphinx. I cannot say it. I have a problem with certain letters. Like, as you may have noticed in my speech, I kind of slur some words sometimes, and those kind of words are kind of hard for me to say. Anyway, the Sphinx smiled, the gears in her jaw creaking, her teeth a nightmare of rust. Her left eye flickered and none of its terror was diminished. The runes were silent in the error. I think, she finally said, that the riddle you did not reveal in this. Why do these riddles exist in the first place? Why do these curious automatons, these mute children of professors, behave as they do, forcing me to devise these intricate solutions? Each is a riddle, but the greater riddle is their purpose. The things did not answer. Her eye was lifeless now. Athena moved it from his socket, knowing that its power would aid her, yet feeling also a deep sorrow at the passing of this fearful creature. So it's not able to understand that what the purpose of the questions are, only that they exist. The questions exist. That is interesting. So we are number 6 now. Okay, that's only these. There's no introduction thingy this time around. LOL.eml from J.E. Harrison G. Okay, let's just call him G now, I guess. To Nomi77. Subject LOL. Ever since we moved to the new site, I feel funny. No, not in that way. Just I feel like I'm about to start laughing at random. Okay. It's probably shock, right? And inability to deal with reality. Maybe it's just that we are working in this insane place with this insane technology on this insane project, and so I feel like a genuine mad scientist. Stand aside, mortals. We will create life by the power of science. I feel like I should act that out a little bit, but I'm just gonna do it normally now. Anyway, I mentioned this to Alex, and she got me a pair of fake glasses. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I want to act this out for some reason, but I don't know. Anyway, you can't be a mad scientist without glasses, he said. Even Ian Malcolm had glasses, and I pointed at EL and said, "Life finds a way." Oh, that's Jurassic Park, right? Yeah, okay. I kind of forgot what the character's name was called. I just watched that recently, actually, so it's kind of weird that I completely forgot his name, even though, you know, he's the most famous of them all in the movie, I feel. Maybe that's rude to say to the other actors who are actually more important. I mean, he didn't do much in that whole movie. That's kind of the point. Anyway, maybe you had to be there. J.E. Harrison Institute of Applied nomadics. Any email sent from this address are to be considered confidential. Sharing and forwarding without permission may result in prosecution by the enraged spirit of Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, okay. So that is indeed a specific reference. Well, that was weird. Cicero text. Shelter industrious husbandman then plant trees, the fruit of which he shall never see, and shall not the great man found lost. This is weird. Like, what? It's like wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be like this. Anyway, and shall not the great man found lost institutions and a republic? What does the procreation of children imply, and our care to continue our names and our adoptions and our scrupulous exactness in drawing up wills and inscriptions on monuments and panegyrics? I don't know what it means. Or even how to pronounce it. But that our thoughts run on futurity. I don't know. Just gotta adjust my headset. Sorry. It's itching in my ear there for a second. Sorry about that if you heard something. Anyway, cannot retrieve something. What do you imagine that so many and great men of our republic who have sacrificed their lives for its good expected? Do you believe that the thought that their names should not continue beyond their lives? None ever encountered death for their inner country, but under a firm persuasion of ease. No, wait, that's the wrong one line. Sorry. But under the firm persuasion of immortality. Sorry, don't know why it is. Anyway, don't know how to pronounce that word. Femistosh, I don't know. Might have lived at his ease, so might empanfandas. God, I'm bad at these names. And not to look abroad and among the ancients for instances, so might I myself. But somehow or other there clings to our minds a certain presage of future ages, and this both exists most firmly and appears most clearly in men of the loftiest genius and greatest souls. Take away this, and who would be so mad as to spend his life amidst toils and dangers? I have no idea what any of that meant. That was a bunch of religious sounding crap that you hear from a preacher that I can barely even comprehend, because it's a bunch of really old way of speaking in a way that's very confusing, and you know, you really gotta, you know, read into that, and when I'm just reading it out loud, it's a lot harder than just reading it. So I didn't really get any of that this time. Sorry, can't really, you know, respond to any of that because I didn't really understand it. Anyway, Genie 77 chatbots are becoming increasingly sophisticated. Nigel Pajamas. I'm not gonna read the names out loud this time, but that is a hilarious name. Anyway, true but hardly relevant to this discussion. Are you sure? How do you know what I'm... how do you know that I'm not a bot? Don't be ridiculous, Sam Swart says. I'm not ridiculous. Honestly, how would you know? Haha, troll. Vegan warrior. I thought I mentioned me being not a vegan, and that's a vegan warrior. Anyway, I'm not a troll. Yeah, right. Is there anything I've written so far that could not be written by a bot? I respond to simple insults like ridiculous and troll with a very basic negations. With very basic negations. I detected that none of you use proper orthography, so I also avoided capitalization. What's the capital of France? Paris. Even the simplest script could pull that info from the net. What's the capital of Croatia? Zagreb. Zagreb? Okay, she's a bot, lol. Not a bot, I'm European. We learned these things in school. I didn't know what the capital of Croatia was. But apparently it's that? Maybe it's not? I don't even know. Anyway. I've seen you in this chat room many times. Bots can't participate in discussions. At best, they can interject random comments. Sam is right. Stop trolling. Vegan warrior. Sam is a bot. Oh. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I don't really think that bots are so much, well, I guess we don't really know, but there aren't really many chat rooms I know that really have bots that talk. If anything, it's, just used for finding, common phrases and deleting them, banning people, that kind of thing. But typically you don't, participate in discussion or anything like that. But I don't know when this is supposed to even take place. Maybe it did say that at some point. I don't really know. Anyway. Athena 9.text. She examined the symbol on the fragment she'd found in the buried city. Again the owl. What could its significance be? It seemed as if they had been scattered about in the labyrinth by some unseen hand for a purpose that yet eluded. Most likely the owl was the sigil of the author of these words, which had so something something. A nebulous memory as if from a previous life. The owl was the symbol of something, and the goddess something something something. Outside under the moon, or perhaps on the city walls when the wind rose. But there was no time to contemplate this further now, for the automatons had seen her. Excuse me. And the mechanical arms extended towards something. The fragment and ran as the beams converged on something. Okay. Singularity discussion 104.html. Articles of singularities comment 104. User Alex16. Report. The more I think about it, the more I believe that no one is actually worried about AIs taking over the world or anything like that. No matter what they say, what they are really worried about is that someone might prove once and for all consciousness can arise from matter. And I can't understand why they find it so terrifying. If we can create a sentient being, where does that leave the soul? Without mystery, how can we see ourselves as anything other than machines? And if we are machines, what hope do we have that death is not the end? What really scares people is not the artificial intelligence in the computer, but the natural intelligence you see in the mirror. Interesting. AMA.html. Ask me anything, I believe. From Nadia Sarapai, something like that. Anyway, as one of the founders of the modern science of pneumatics, many credit you with inventing the term itself. How do you see the state of the science today? Sorry, I said science twice. What? That is mixed. On the one hand, the existence of the Institute for Applied Pneumatics and a couple of similar organizations is highly encouraging. On the other hand, the degree to which science is seen as serving purely military or corporate causes is, in my opinion, stopping us from exploring many important avenues of research. In a sense, it's people like Alexandra Drennan who are the real pioneers today, who have the enthusiasm and dedication that the system as a whole seems to be lacking. Do you think technology poses a danger to humanity? No, technology is just a tool. What we do with it is up to us. Let me catch my breath. There's a lot of talking today. The Extended Lifespan Project. Crazy or visionary? Both. Crazy or visionary? Smiley face. Both. Katie, is that you? Do something. So Alan Jameson subject scenario Gen. So far all the puzzles are solvable and completely within the necessary parameters. Alexandra had some more tweaks she wanted to suggest, but I think we're heading in the right direction here. Not sure what was in there. That's weird. Okay. Was that the last one?
There are mysteries in my garden, hidden roads and secret gates. If you dedicate yourself to understanding them, you may join the host of messengers.
Okay, so there's also a thing that's locked out by a board. Don't know how you get in there. Not quite done though. There's still a few things here. These two. I believe these are out here somewhere. That's this, which I don't think I checked. Yeah, these are two. Athena 12 text. Also, I guess I should do the one that's in the level I'm currently doing. 2-1, I guess you would call it. Anyway, 12, the Council of Zeus. Well, maybe I think I should maybe wait for that until I finish this world. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I also don't want this to go on for too long. I have no idea how long this video is by now, but it feels like a long time. Anyway, some stuff. The great bronze bulls pulled the carriage forward, mighty burst of steam issuing from the nostrils. Finally, they came to the gate at the top of something. User set. Here assembled were all the many generations of the gods, the demigods, and souls of mortals. Steel and bronze and iron and memory of flesh. The clouds parted far beneath, revealing the beautiful plains of Macedon or Macedon, something like that, where great gleaming cities had once something. Okay. And this. Professor Dr. Armin Hulock, The Fall of the Roman Empire, a dialectical approach. Caption: Homo sum humani nihil alienum puto. Sounds kind of Latin or something? I don't really know. Maybe Greek? Or something. Well, not Greek. Not Italian, but well, what I guess Romans back in the day spoke Latin. I would guess that makes sense, right? I don't know. I don't really know much about history, but that's not important since I don't know what it says anyway. But interesting as such perspectives of the decline and ultimate dissolution of the Roman Empire may be, they ultimately put too much emphasis on individual catastrophic events. The real question that must be asked is why the Roman Empire, which had dealt with so many threats and catastrophes over the years, was so incapable of responding to these later problems. We must investigate the division of wealth, the structure of government, the location of power in Roman society. Had the Republic survived or had been restored, would Rome still have fallen? What was the role of debt and slavery in creating the conditions for what we now call the Dark Ages? Rome, the saying goes, was not built in a day. It didn't fall in a day either. Twitter for the class, blah 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 blah. Please email. That's actually interesting. I don't really know why Rome fell either, honestly. So that's interesting. I believe there was a computer in here. Was this the one that crashed it? I don't know what it did, but something crashed. So I'm kind of worried what will happen. Oxyrhynchus, something like that. I don't know what that means. The great irony of the Oxyrhynchus papyri is that such a vital source of information about the ancient world exists only because of a garbage dump. While the Library of Alexandria burned at the hands of fanatics and conquerors, depriving us of all unimaginable insights into history, philosophy, and art. The paper, carelessly thrown away by the citizens of that, survived to the modern age. Modern day, rather. And though it is true that a great deal of what we know today is because of the conscious efforts of individual and organizations such as the spectacular translation and preservation work done during the Islamic Golden Age. So much more is simply the result of coincidence and luck. We've lost texts that the ancients considered to be absolutely essential, while utterly trivial, even plagiarized work have survived unharmed. So we want our descendants to remember more than glittering emo vampires and out-of-tune teen pop stars. We have to invest in blank. Make sure that. Okay. Book of Osiris. Or something like that. We're almost done here. The Book of the Scribe of Osiris, sometimes also referred to as the Book of the Journey to Aru, is an ancient Egyptian text discovered in the excavation of that. It has caused a certain degree of controversy among Egyptologists, as some argue that it is a classic funerary text such as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, while others believe it to be a poetic work not intended to be understood literally. The book tells us of the story of a dying man who asks a scribe about the afterlife. The scribe, a servant of Osiris, describes how the man's car life force will become separated from his spa personality, and and how he will have to reunite the two and become an Ak, or something like that, living intellect. Passing a series of trials in the Duat underworld in order to reach the paradise of Aru. Unlike similar texts, the Book of the Scribe of Osiris focuses less on giving advice or something. A recent study, Karahan Hassan, suggests the text may have been intended as a philosophical commentary on the world of the living through the allegory of the Duat. It remains unclear whether this was the intent of the original pre-Alexandrian author or a result of the later translation into Greek. The more early manuscript, which is considered to be more authentic, is too fragmentary to provide answers, though perhaps further excavation may. Well, interesting indeed. And I think that's it. That's as much stuff as there is. So there's also a little bit here, like a little bit to see in these areas that I didn't really explore. I think I'm gonna do that right now, since I don't know when else to really do it. All who say they made it to top up any lying, or they would say what was there. Listen to me carefully. I have to climb the tower and no good has come of it. This world is the only world Elohim will continue. This world is the only world Elohim's will continues eternal, and paradise is banishing all of this from your mind. The voice keeps speaking to me. I can't get out of my head. It's wrong. It's all wrong. Huh. That's one of these there. That's interesting. The overworld of all things. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can jump out here if I want to. I guess I'll explore this for a little bit. Don't know if there's anything really worthwhile doing here though. Huh. There's a star there. You can barely see it. Oh, you can see a little bit from here. But I need to get a blue over here. So that's interesting. Apparently there's a puzzle in the overworld you can do. That's... Huh. I can jump up here if I wanted to. But I don't think that helps me. I can't climb this or anything. Huh. Interesting. But don't know how I do that. This whole thing is it's a quite a huge thing, and I don't even know if it does anything. I wonder how long I can actually walk. Oh, okay. It's telling me not to go that way. Hope I can get back up here from this direction. Yeah, okay. I don't have all of those. Did I get this one? Oh, it's another one here, I guess. Could have found that. Heaven! That text. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. What matter where, if I be still the same, and what I should be, all but less than he whom thunder hath made greater. Here at least we shall be free. The Almighty hath not built here for his envy will not drive us hence. Here we may reign secure, and in my choice to reign is worth ambition, though in hell better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Hell. Blake William. The ancient tradition that the world will be consumed in fire at the end of 6,000 years is true, as I have heard from hell. For the cherub with his flaming sword is hereby commanded to leave his guard at Tree of Life, and when he does, the whole creation will be consumed and appear infinite and holy, whereas now it appears finite and corrupt. This will come to pass by an improvement of sensual enjoyment. But first, the notion that man has a body distinct from his soul is to be expunged. This I shall do by printing in the infernal method by corrosives which in hell are salutary and medicinal, melting apparent surfaces away, and displaying the infinite which was head. Blake William collection the marriage of heaven and hell. Well, that is some crazy shit, I will say. I don't know what it's all about, but that exists. Yep, it surely does. So I think that's it for now. Maybe there's a few other things I can explore in this overworld, but yeah, I think that's it. I guess I'll go back down here, see if I missed a thing down there. Whoa, lag. Since this video is probably like at least 30 minutes long, it feels like I've been there for quite a while. I might as well do as much as I can, since I know it's gonna be a long upload and a long video regardless, so might as well do things while I'm here. So yeah, still I'm missing one. Yeah. Don't know if there's anything here. Okay, so those I see. Okay, that makes sense. Like a quick overview. Those are stars I need. Okay. So yeah, next time we will continue with level 1 and get these two. Hopefully I'm able to figure out how I get the one in level, the one I started with last time. But yeah. So that was interesting. I'm glad I did this because it is an interesting world, and it has interesting ideas, philosophy, you know, well, mostly philosophy, but you know, also the world like seems to be, well, I want to say not generic, but like it feels something like has been done before, but presented in a different way, in like not in a way you normally see these kind of, you are an AI, you are not real kind of thing. It's done in a different way. Like you are literally answering people's surveys of are you a person? What do you feel about this? You don't really see that too much. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. But I guess I guess I'll do the same when I'm done with this world. Collect all of them in one video. I think that's a good idea. Cause this is a lot better for me, I feel, than you know, doing a lot of reading in one video and then a single puzzle, and that's all I have time for. Yeah, this is a better way, even if it's a long video. If you really care, you're here. If you don't, you know, not sure why you decide to watch so long. But yeah, that's it for now. Next time we'll continue with the game. Goodbye.